What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. You already know what it is, man. It's 10 o'clock in the morning out here in Southern California. So if it's 12 o'clock out there in Dallas. So let's get this thing popping, man. It is the lunch hour show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. That's gonna be turning in. And man, let's get this thing going, man. So we had a couple things that happened yesterday. Dak Prescott was at the Reliant Energy tournament. It's kind of like a home run derby, and he made a very interesting comment about how he felt about his upcoming contract and things like that. So I wanted to be able to. I wanted to see if we could take a listen to it. Take a listen to it and then kind of go from there, kind of talk about what we kind of think about what's going to happen with Dak Prescott currently and things like that. But shout out to everybody that's on right now. If you are on, it's your boy West Coast. Make sure you give your boy a shout out and give your boy a share. And also make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hey, what's up with you? Man, I got the legend himself, Mark Holmes, on here. So appreciate you, man. He actually one of the dudes that the man when I was telling me West Coast, you tripping, you need to get on YouTube and stop tripping and get on there and give him that no. So shout out to OG for that motivation. But yo, let's get right into this video. Let's get right into it. So Dak Prescott said yesterday at the Reliant Energy home run derby that his plans is to be a Dallas Cowboy for life, and that he is not really worried too much on what's going to happen with his contract and things like that, because he understands that it's going to get taken care of. So one thing when I hear stuff like that, it makes me reassured, because it lets me know that Dak is in a good place with this whole contract situation. Why? Because I know that there was some nasty tactics that were used by the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't necessarily say nasty tactics, but there was just some kind of some very aggressive tactics that the Dallas Cowboys use to try to make sure that the Dallas Cowboys get the right number that they want for Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? So, it was good to hear him kind of reaffirm that he is in a good place and that he's not worried about it, and that he has a team of people around him that's making sure that this thing gets taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So that was I absolutely love that. And that was a phenomenal statement. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be honest with you, most athletes that are in his position, the number one thing they're doing is worrying about their money, or they're doing something to voice that in the media to let them know that they're not necessarily worried about it, but they got money on their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like YM Melly said, they definitely got the money on their mind. And one thing I like about Dak Prescott is, man, considering he's a guy who, hasn't really made a lot of money in the NFL, man, he has done a really good job of keeping himself centered and ground, man. So, shout out to the people who really, who've been his support staff, man, because they've done a really good job of keeping this young man really centered and ground while all this stuff has been going on. So I want to let you guys hear this little tidbit, a little interview that they did on, I think it was 103 The Fan, but I want you guys to hear about it, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
I think two over the fence. I had a bunch of we're playing real baseball that I think we're base hits. So, hey, take something from it.
You're setting the table for the other guys. You can just get on base, let them knock you in.
Yeah, exactly. I've got 2 more rounds. The best is ahead of me, so I'm all right.
So much of the discussion outside the team this all season has been about you getting a new contract.
Can you guys hear it?
What is your mindset and status with that?
Yeah, my whole focus is within the locker room. I've got people that take care of that. I've got a great team of agents. That's their job. Jerry said what he's had to. They're working, negotiating. But as far as I'm concerned, it's about just getting better as a quarterback, getting better as a leader, just making sure our team's getting better.
There's nothing about wanting this out of the
So, obviously, in contract talk, that's always, that's basically the lingo that you always hear. They're always, putting it back on the ownership. He understands that Jerry's going to say whatever it is that Jerry has to say to keep things in line. But at the same time, I like the fact that our quarterback is not focused on that. But it also lets me know, like my boy Rock says, that his mind is right as far as his money. You know what I'm saying? So that lets me know that the things that Dak Prescott does need to improve on, the things that we talked about yesterday, that Dak can actually focus on these things. Because this is my thing, like, I didn't want Dak focusing on his money this year. Why? Because I wanted Dak Prescott focusing on the things that he needs to improve to be as a better quarterback. And to be honest with you, it's not Dak's job to focus on his money. It's his agent's job to focus on his money. It's Dak's job to focus on how to be the best quarterback that he can possibly be for the Dallas Cowboys. And a lot of times, I think that, those lines will get blurred. Why? Because, in these seasons like this, especially a season where you could literally consider this as a make it or break it season. Last year was a make it or break it season where that was a contract year for him. A lot of times these players will turn into lobbyists and will start lobbying for themselves. And to be honest with you, I'm not knocking it, man, because this isn't like your normal job where you can just go in and get a performance and, go get your performance, evaluation. And then they say, oh, yeah, you guys are doing good. You're doing good. We're going to give you a raise. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You can still have pretty decent numbers. And then, because of the market, it can fluctuate up and down. So I like the fact that Dak Prescott is 100% just focusing on being a better quarterback and letting his agent do the legwork. And you've seen that because you haven't heard any pushback. And I ain't gonna lie. When Stephen Jones said that stuff about, when he basically compared Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson's money to he basically said those guys are Super Bowl winners, which is absolutely true. But let's just be real, man. Aaron Rodgers did not just get no $34 million a year contract because he was a Super Bowl winner in 2009. Like, knock it off. That's not true. And Russell Wilson did not get no extension on his contract because of a Super Bowl he won 4.5 years ago either. Like, and the funny thing about it, both of those guys have actually gotten new deals since those contracts. So if you want to say anything, Russell Wilson's last contract was because of the Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers' last extension was for that Super Bowl. But these new things that they're putting them on, these are all off of projections. These are all off of projections on what they feel or where they feel they're going to be going into this next era of their life. Let me share this real quick on Facebook real quick. So I just shared it on Facebook. So I had a winner, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really liking that. It really lets me know that his management team is on the right path. It lets me know that the people who are influencing Dak Prescott are on the right path. It just lets me know that there's going to be some lot of good things that are going to come from this. And to be honest with you guys, like, let's just be real, right? I am one of those guys who has been hesitant about paying Dak Prescott. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. And it's not necessarily about paying him. It's about paying him $30 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem paying him. You know what I'm saying? It's just I've had problems paying him the whole $30 million. But when I see someone handling this a very mature way, it allows me to have a little bit of faith in him to say, you know what? If Dak Prescott can handle one of these situations, which is one of the most pressing and one of the most, I would think definitely one of the most pressurized situations outside of being on a football field getting chased by a 300-pound defensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? I think for the most part, the kid's handling it pretty well. You know what I'm saying? So, I would like to think that he would take that same attitude and that same way of handling business into this next life. You know what I'm saying? Into this football field. So the same way Dak is handling, his business with this contract, and he's being very progressive about it, but he's letting the representative and the people who are supposed to be taking care of it handle it. That's exactly the way I want him to handle this football field. You know what I'm saying? Be very progressive and get out there and let the people who are supposed to help you. That's why, honestly, yesterday when I saw that picture of him talking to when John Kitna was talking to him, and you could literally just feel that Dak Prescott was learning and that he was understanding what he was talking about, man. Like, that's why I got so excited yesterday, man, because like Dak Prescott is definitely like the type of guy who definitely seems like he really tries to learn from his mistakes and learn from the things that he's gone through. So I'm really, really excited to see with not Kellen Moore, but with John Kitna, I'm really excited to see this next phase of our quarterback. And you guys know I'm really, really big on film, but the film says that there are areas that he can improve, but the film also shows that there are areas that he is ever improving in it. So I'm just really excited about this. Now, let me go through some questions real quick, and then I'm going to talk about when I think Dak Prescott will actually get paid. So let me go through these comments real quick. What's up with you, Mark Holmes? What's up with you, Rob? Eric Milton, how you doing today, brother? Make sure you guys give me go ahead and hit that subscribe button on there, please. Eric says Dak deserves a $30 million a year. Let me know why he deserves that, Eric. It just can't be Lee because you really like him or because you feel that all this great stuff. Let me know why you feel why he feels you earn $1 million. Rocksteady says make it happen. James says Wes easy. What up, G? What up with you, man? How you doing this morning, man? Rock says he's a team guy. He just want to ball out. Said in that comment, and not in that comment. One thing that Dak also said in that interview is that he said that this is generational changing money. So he's like, I understand no matter how much money I get, this money is gonna change my life and my family's life forever. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason to rush it. Why not just get it right? You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I like that mentality. I like that. I like hearing stuff like that. That stuff is very, very encouraging. Because you guys got to remember, man, when you're a franchise quarterback, man, it's more than just being a good quarterback. Like, it's about being able to handle personalities. It's about being able to handle, play with guys that you may, who have probably been, ostracized somewhere else, but Jerry feels that they want to bring them here. It's more. You are literally the representation of the Dallas Cowboys everywhere you go. And I'm going to be honest with you. Who would you rather have? Ben Roethlisberger representing your organization, or would you rather have Dak Prescott, a guy who understands how to talk, who knows how to say the right things? And I'm going to be honest with you. He doesn't have one person in the world saying that they do not want to play with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of an amazing thing, right? You know what I'm saying? And so that within itself kind of like gives me a little bit of hope. Now, Tony says, I think he deserves the $30 million because he stayed true to us, like the video I sent you yesterday. He wants to be here, so it shows he's ready to grow and be a leader. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tony. That's a great point, but I don't really care about somebody wanting to be in Dallas, because everybody that plays for the Cowboys wants to be here. You know what I'm saying? When you're paying someone that type of money that is going, you got to see it like this. At $30 million, he about to take up 16% of our cap. Our entire offensive line, that's 5 starters, takes up 30. So 5 guys take up 30. Dak is going to take up 15 and 16 by himself. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be more than just like, because we just really like him. Like, it has to, like, and I think that's why Dak does get some of the negative flack, because there are so many people that just genuinely like him as a person and just want him to do right. And then there's people on the other hand that are like, no, I want to see film. I want to have execution. So there is a wolf, a white wolf and a black wolf. You gotta feed whichever one you feed the most is one that's gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? So if you were one of those guys that believe that Dak should just get paid just because of his, his loyalties and his great of his person, then you have people that are saying, okay, I understand that, but we want him to get paid because of the what he does on the football field. But the one thing I like about Dak is this is one of those situations where you can low key get both. You know what I'm saying? Because if Dak can just be, and honest with you guys, like, don't blow my inbox up when I say this, but Dak Prescott, in my opinion, he really don't even got to improve. If Dak can just guarantee that he's going to be the same guy he was through week 10 through 18, or I'll say week 9 through 18, if Dak can be the same guy from week 9 all the way through the Rams game, I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine. Perfectly fine with it. Perfectly fine with giving him money, because you know what? Dak Prescott week 10 through 18 was probably one of the best Dak Prescotts I've ever seen. And that's real. Why? Because he didn't have the offensive line that he had in 2016. 56 sacks, man, and we still made it happen. So I'm not even asking Dak to be Dak Prescott from 2016. Dak, if you can be the Dak Prescott from 2018, just the last 8 games, bruh, I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. All right. I told you guys I'm going to talk to you guys about when I think he's going to get paid. I'm going to jump on that right next. Some more comments. All right, so let me go through these. Mark Holmes, he said he's eating lunch. Gary, Eric. Hey, Gary, did you share, brother? I'm new to YouTube. I need people to know about this. Please give me a share, brother, please. Eric, finally, me and Eric agree on something. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. We is heading up the right track. That's what's up. Hey, you know what? I don't care what nobody else said. Eric agreed with me this morning. I'm going the right direction. Eric, give your boy a share, please. Tony said, okay, Gary says they need to bring back Dez because Linehan tried to sabotage his career on film by calling shitty plays for him to run. Gary, I'm going to be honest with you, Big G. I'm going to be honest with you, G. I 100% agree with that comment. I do believe that the Dallas Cowboys should bring Dez back. But I'm going to be honest with you. Do I believe they will do it? No, I don't believe they're going to do it. No, I don't. Do I want them to do it? Yes. Will I do it on 2019 Madden? Absolutely. Dez will be winning a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys on Madden on 2019. But in real life, I don't think it's going to happen, man. Why? Because I'm just saying, like, I ain't the richest man in the world. I ain't rich at all, to be honest with you. And I'm just know me. I don't like admitting when I'm wrong. So I can just know when a billionaire makes a mistake in front of the national media, they typically want to swipe it under the rug rather than bring it back and admit that we was wrong. Because if you were that like honest and that noble, you wouldn't have cut him in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's hard for someone who's consistently not necessarily who have made decisions that are more about them, meaning Stephen Jones, to then just go all the way against the grain and say, I'm going to make a decision in the best interest of Dez in what's right. Like, yeah, right, bro. If you was really trying to do what's right, you would have listened to Dez 3 years ago. So it's hard for me to believe that they're going to backtrack and try to do the right thing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just really, really hard for me to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what rich people do. They like to sweep their problems under the rug rather than put them on Front Street and say, because I'm going to tell you right now, you bring Dez back, you're admitting to the world that you was wrong. That you was wrong. Dez may not say it, but you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And we all know it was wrong. Why? Because Amari Cooper in a Dallas Cowboy uniform is proof that the Dallas Cowboys were wrong. You know what I'm saying? They were proof. It's proof. You know what I'm saying? So, why? Because you got to remember, the Dallas Cowboys did not sell us on, no, we did not need Dez Bryant. They were not selling us on that. They were selling us on, no, we do not need a number one wide receiver. And remember, Jerry Jones made this statement, and I always throw this statement out there. He made this famous statement when he says, well, I'm looking in this hand right here, and I'm really wondering how many number one wide receivers are out there. Well, I'm curious. When he said that statement, was he talking about Amari Cooper? Was he thinking about Amari Cooper in that mindset? I don't know. Because at that time, 2017, Amari Cooper had led the NFL in drops. So I doubt he was talking about Amari Cooper. They were talking about a number one wide receiver in general. The Dallas Cowboys were trying to save money, period. They were trying to save some money. The Dallas Cowboys mindset was to go out there, let their young quarterback distribute and get the ball to whoever's open. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, if you think about it, that's basically what they were doing when they had Dez. It was like wide receiver by committee, but look at Dez first. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, Dez numbers dropped. Cole Beasley's numbers dropped. Jason Witten numbers dropped. Like Allen Hermer's numbers were never even existent. You know what I'm saying? They all dropped. You know what I'm saying? So we've always had wide receiver by committee. It's just wide receiver by committee, but look at Dez first. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have now. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, that's what we have right now. Like, we're going to have wide receiver by committee, but give the ball and play for Cooper. If he's not open, what are they going to do? They're going to give it to whoever's open. You know what I'm saying? But to tarry back on the subject, on the thought, do I think the Dallas Cowboys will bring Dez Bryant back? And I'm sorry. The answer is no. I would love for them to do it, but I don't see them going to do it. And the crazy thing about it is, think this, right? They had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to bring Dez back. And you know who they brought back? Bryce Butler, a dude who went on national news on ESPN and said that he would never come back to Dallas Cowboys unless he was a starter, and they brought that guy back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's very hard for me to believe that they're going to overlook all that and bring Dez back. Like, it's just very, very hard for me to believe. You know, I do hope that they allow him to sign a 1-year deal, a one-day contract, so he can definitely retire as a Dallas Cowboy. That'd be shady as hell. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they don't do that, you know what I'm saying? That'd be shady as heck if they don't do that. So they should give Dez that currency, but Dez got to retire first before they can do that. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back into these comments. All right, so. Rock, it says where Dez fits in the depth chart. Gallup needs rep. I mean, you could easily put Dez in the depth card. I don't want us to think that we couldn't get Dez on the field, because we could, because Noah Brown played a lot last year. Noah Brown played a ton. Allen Hurns played a ton. Like, I would rather have Dez Bryant over Noah Brown, Allen Hurns, and probably Tavon Austin. Let's just be real. Like, let's just be real. I'll probably even take Dez Bryant over Randall Cobb. Just be real. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think at their peak, Dez is probably a better player. So I don't want to, the only wide receivers in my core that I would not take over Dez Bryant are probably Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper. Just being real. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, that's just my thoughts on it, because I think if you're bringing in Dez to do what he's going to do, that's jump balls, man. Them dudes can't do that. Like, bring him in to do what he does best. You brought Jason Witten in to do what he does best, and that's what? Block. You know what I'm saying? You're paying him $2 million. Why not pay him $1 million to jump in the end zone and catch a ball once a game? Makes sense to me. So I don't think there's anything about depth chart or where we're going to get him on the field. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Dez is on this team. He's the third best receiver, probably second. Like, realistically, he's the second best wide receiver on this team if you put him on here, behind Amari Cooper. That's just real. Like, if you want to say Cobb is better, it's because you want him to be better because he's healthy, he's young, and he's newer. You know what I'm saying? If you think Allen Hurns is better, it's because you want him to be better. You know what I'm saying? But even Michael Gallup, Michael Gallup isn't, slap yourself. He's not. You know what I'm saying? But what does Michael Gallup have that Dez Bryant doesn't have? Projection. We know what Dez is. We don't know what Michael Gallup is. So then you have the intrigue of wanting him to play more. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like I'll take Dez over every receiver on our team except for Amari Cooper. But it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. All right. So what do I think? When do I think Dak Prescott is gonna get paid? When do I think Dak Prescott's gonna get paid? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think Dak Prescott is gonna get paid the week before training camp. Like, that's what I think. I believe Dak Prescott's going to get paid the week before training camp or the week going in. Like that Monday or Tuesday, they get on the plane on Thursday, he going to get paid Monday. And the reason why I believe it's going to happen is because it makes more sense for the Dallas Cowboys to pay Dak Prescott. You want him to be at his most motivated, right? So you're not going to pay him. You're not going to pay him before while the season's going in. You're not going to do that. Why? Because then you're going to be focusing on that. You don't want him focusing on that. So you're going to pay him, in my opinion, a week before training camp. Why? Because one, you're going to get that. It's like when you get your paycheck. When's the best day to work? Every 2 weeks on that Friday, right? You be in work skipping, all happy. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Exact same thing. You give Dak Prescott that money a week before training camp, he's gonna be on cloud nine, skipping, coming into training camp, talking about this is a motivating year. This is the year we need to do it. And I'm gonna tell you guys something also. From a management standpoint, if you give Dak Prescott $50 million, or I don't know how much the guarantee money is gonna be, but if you give him a gang of money before training camp, think about this. Nothing about his life will really change. Why? Because when he gonna spend it? He'll be in California. Like, he'll be in California. So it's like you're almost protecting your investment at the same time. And think about this. He's going to be so motivated and so happy and guess who benefits from that? Jerry Jones. Why? Because how does Jerry Jones not benefit from Dak Prescott being even more happy and motivated? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a super win-win for Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying? Super win-win. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, look for Dak Prescott to get paid. You look for him to get paid the week of training camp. Like the week before they go to training camp, he's going to get paid. And he ain't going to be able to buy nothing. They're going to be at training camp asking Dak Prescott, so Dak, what are you going to be buying with your new money? And Dak's going to say, oh, well, I really haven't really got to be able to spend it. Why? Because, I'm at training camp. So Dak won't even be able to spend that money until what? The season's over. The bye week at West. You know what I'm saying? He'll be able to buy everybody some Christmas gifts, though. But for the most part, his life won't even change with this money until next year. You know what I'm saying? So you secure your investment and you get a little bit more incentive from that player. Why? Because what is he going to be incentive to do right now? You give him $30 million. Dak about to be on the end. I mean, Dak is pretty responsible. So I'm not putting him out there like that. But I'm just saying, Dak going to have him a good time. He going to be in the club with him a cigar because he love them Black and Miles. He going to have 2 Black and Miles chilling like a mug. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good. You give him that money before training camp, you know what he's going to do? He's going to check his bank account, the same thing we all do when we think, oh, it's in there. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Try to snapshot it, but you can't snapshot it because Chase won't let you do that. And then you're going to do what? Be real smiley grin and go on the internet and buy a bunch of stuff off the internet. But you ain't going to go nowhere because you ain't got no chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? Dallas Cowboys, makes sense. Pay Dak Prescott, but pay him right before training camp. Why? Because it benefits everybody. I will have the most motivated quarterback ever if you do that right before training camp. Okay, let's jump to some of these comments. Hey, man, the shares is looking kind of low right now. That's all I'm going to tell you. Some of y'all snuck in the building. Some of y'all done snuck in the club. Y'all got a glass in your hand. You know you ain't paid for it. Drop some in that tip box. Knock it off. If you like this, if you like the video, like the video. You know what I'm talking about? I got 16 folks on here, only 6 likes. I mean, if 10 of y'all don't like what I'm saying, at least put it in the comment box and let me know what I'm saying wrong. But if you like the video, like the video. If you love the video, share the video. You know what I'm talking about? All right, let's go. Let's see who in this comment box what we talking about. All right, so Kissy, what's up, Kissy? How you doing? Kissy, did you share this morning? She says, hey, West Coast. Hey, share on Facebook. Shout it out. Some love. Hold up. Let's get back on here. Andrew says, sheesh, I need a black and mild myself. Hey, them things are not good for you. Stay away from them things. Dak, you got to switch to cigars. Hey, Mark Holmes, hook Dak up with a cigar. Tony's, okay, go back through these comments. He says, man, I totally forgot Dak got sacked 56 times while he really got beat up. Dak has hella heart and his courage. Big facts. Absolutely, man. Cowboys, the offense, I mean, and think about this. Our offensive line gave up 56 sacks last year. The number one team in the NFL sacks, Houston, Texas, gave up 64. You know what I'm saying? 64. So that's another thing. Like, you know, I know a lot of people that, you know, Dak ran into a lot of sacks, but you know what, man? That's another mobile quarterback. I mean, that's another mobile quarterback that had a problem with sacks because Watson is what I would consider a mobile quarterback. And guess what? They had a problem protecting him last year. You know what I'm saying? So the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, man, while we on this subject, man, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, you know, after this, you know, going into this year, we really need to focus on making sure that we do always have the best 5 men on the field. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, my best 5, what are you guys' best 5? You know what I'm saying? I want to know a question. What do you do if you have a situation where a guy like Looney is playing as well as a guy like Travis Frederick? What do you do? What are you guys going to do? Do you let Joe Looney keep the starting job? Do you find somewhere else, put Joe Looney on the field? What do you do? I need to know. What do you guys do? What are you guys going to do? I mean, it's a good question to ask, but it's a good problem to have too. But I need to know because Joe Looney also makes $700,000. Travis Fredericks makes $10 million. And our offensive line is 30% of our cap. I want to know, what do you guys do? What are your suggestions? Are you going to take a guy like Joe Looney who started 18 games and played really well and put him on the bench and just he not exist anymore? I think that would be a waste of talent, don't you think? Don't you think? I know everybody keeps saying he's going to play guard, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Joe Looney's playing guard. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I have a small feeling that the Cowboys aren't looking to Joe Looney to play guard. You want to know why? Connor Williams, Connor McGraw. Then you got the young kid, the 2-time consensus All-American out of Clemson. Like, we got guards. And theoretically, we don't need guards. We only need a guard. We need one. Because Zach Martin got that other side held down. He got that on lock. So, I want to know, what are you guys' thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are you going to do with that? Are you going to let Joe Looney just sit on the bench and grow old and grow moldy? What do you guys thought? What should we do? Because I'm just saying, I don't foresee Joe Looney. Everybody says, oh, well, you can just put him at guard. I'm like, well, we just drafted 2 dudes to play guard, and we drafted a guy last year to play guard. Like, I think if they thought, because you got to think like this, we drafted Connor Williams while Joe Looney was on the team and Travis Fredericks was healthy. So if they thought that Joe Looney was a guard, why wouldn't they have just played that last year up until he got hurt? But he wasn't. He was playing center. They got Connor Williams to come in as a guard. So it's like they didn't foresee Joe Looney as a guard last year. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not mistaken, I am not mistaken. Xavier Sulafule still has one more year on his deal. So you have 4 dudes at guard, and you only need one. Because Zach Martin just got paid last year, remember? So what do you do? Like, I think that's a question that nobody, or even a thought that nobody really thinks about. Why? Because we're all under the assumption that Travis Frederick is going to come back and be an all-pro. But I want to know, what do you do with Joe Looney? Because it would be the greatest waste of assets to just let him sit there. Be the biggest asset. You guys are asking me, what do I do? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you do because, obviously, Travis Frederick playing at an all-pro level is damn near night and day between Joe Looney. Let's just be real. But my all-pro ain't played in a year. So who am I to be thinking like that's not even that's not even good business to think that, oh, I haven't done something in a whole year. I'm going to come back and be top. Because when you're an all-pro at a position, that means you're top 4 in the NFL. And at the center position means you're like top 3. Why? Because there's only one center that plays on your own team. So you're the first team all-pro, that's one center. Second team all-pro, that's another center. They don't have third team. So that means if he's an all-pro, that means he's one of the top 1 through 3 centers in all the NFL out of all 32 teams. It's not realistic for me to be like, come back and say that you're going to be out for a year and come back and be one of the best 1 through 3. Like, that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's actually more realistic to think that Joe Looney is going to grow and get better. Why? Because he started all games, didn't give up 1 sack. They don't have Joe Looney down for recording 1 sack all year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. What are you guys' thoughts? What do you do with Joe Looney? Because I don't think he's playing guard. What are you guys' thoughts? Tony says Xavier is hanging on to 1 year. He does has 1 more year. Dwayne says if we believe that Jerry Woods, let me see. He said we believe that Jerry Jones will try to find the 5 best on the field. Have the 5. That's what he said, man. That's what he said. That's what Stephen Jones said. Like, that is the goal of the offensive line. The goal of their offensive line is to ensure that the 5 best offensive line are on the field at any given time, no matter who it is. That's what Jerry Jones said. That their goal is to make sure that the 5 best offensive linemen are on the field at any given time, no matter what names, no matter what position. So I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be very hard for someone to explain to me that Joe Looney's not one of the 5 best offensive linemen on the Dallas Cowboys right now. Like, that's very, very hard for me to believe, because I definitely believe that he's better than Connor Williams. I say it like this. I definitely believe when healthy, Travis Frederick is better than Joe Looney, but I don't know how healthy Travis Frederick is. And I love hope, but hope is deferred. You know what I'm saying? Until I actually see something. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't do it, man. I can't believe somebody's word because they feel good. I can't. Because you got to think like this. Travis Frederick felt really, really good until Antoine Woods put his hands in his chest and lifted him up. And then we was all looking like, okay, 1 or 2 things. Who the hell is this dude? I think because he was wearing 67 back then. Who the hell is this dude out here lifting Travis Frederick? And what is going on with Travis Frederick? Because we ain't never seen that before. We all thought he was fine. We thought he was good. That happened a week before the 49er game. Like, we all thought he was good. Remember, they went to the 49er game, and while they were in San Francisco, he went and saw another doctor, and that's when he got diagnosed. We all thought he was fine. Jerry thought he was fine. Everybody thought he was fine. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know Travis Frederick is fine until you get on them one-on-one drills, man. And you got another man thinking about beating you so he can make this team, so he can feed his family. That's when you'll know if Travis Frederick is ready. You know what I'm saying? When he's under that type of pressure. You know what I'm saying? That's when you'll know. Why? Because that's when we knew he was sick. You know what I'm saying? So I love Travis Frederick. I am hoping for the best. But worst case scenario, we have Joe Looney. We need to figure out a way to get Joe Looney on this field, man, because if anybody's deserved it, Joe has deserved it. And not giving up 0 sacks in a season where your whole squad gives up 56? Boy, that's a lot. Dwayne, did you subscribe to the channel? Eric, I know you subscribe to the channel because you always be on here first. Tony, did you subscribe? That's why I'm saying you got to put him in the dog fight before we can see where him and Ludi are going to stand. Tony, my boy, bro. Tony, you already know what's up. Man, they crucified me, man. Crucify him! Hey, they crucified me, man, when I came out there on Facebook telling them we got to do that with, hey, what's wrong with open competition? Oh, we can't do that to Travis Frederick. No. We can't do that to Travis Frederick. No. Travis Frederick will shit all over. He'll crap all over Joe. No, we can't do that to Travis Frederick. What are you talking about? That's football. You're not going to know until the dog fight starts, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, I want to know before the dog fights. There's nothing wrong with competition. Worst case scenario, if he beats him out, then you won anyway. Competition benefits the team 100%. Why? Because it guarantees the best players on the field. If you don't have competition, how do you know the best players on the field? You don't. You do not. You know what I'm saying? So competition is very important. You know what I'm saying? So the Dallas Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? Make this an open competition, man. And to be honest with you, Travis Frederick, man, if he respect the laws of football, it's like they respect the laws of physics, then guess what? He going to understand that what must come up must come down. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. If he understands the physics of football, man, you know when you out a year, bro, you just don't come back and slide in there like you the best. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Make Travis Frederick, think about this. Competition could make Travis Frederick better. Who imagine what a better Travis Frederick could be? Oh, God. You know what I'm saying? You want Dak Prescott to be worth $30 million? Keep 56 sacks out of his face because I'm going to give a damn who it is. If you allow your quarterback to get sacks 56 times, bruh, he ain't going to be worth $30 million at the end of the season because he's going to be broke up and hurt. Try doing that 2 times in a year, 2 times in a row. It ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. But, hey, man, I've been on here. I got to go handle some business real quick, so it's going to be a little bit shorter show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I got a couple of exactly. Tony says get out there and perform, show you want that spot. Absolutely right. So, hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys tune in today at 4:30 on YouTube and Facebook. I also got a video I'm about to be dropping here in a little bit. It's a little long, so it's taking forever to upload. But I'll be dropping another video in a little bit. Make sure you guys support that, please. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure all 10 of you guys hit that subscribe button at the top. Hit that subscribe button at the top. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to everyone who's been holding West Coast down. You already know what it is. Never look down because it starts up.